Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he does himself, to make it just and holy. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. What doesn't transmit light creates its own darkness. You are a little soul carrying about a corpse, as Epictetus used to say. You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. What we do now echoes in eternity. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. But for my part one have long perceived the nature of good and its nobility, the nature of evil and its meanness, and also the nature of the culprit himself, who is my brother, not in the physical sense, but as a fellow creature similarly endowed with reason and a share of the divine. Therefore none of those things can injure me, for nobody can implicate me in what is degrading. Neither can I be angry with my brother or fall foul of him, for he and I were born to work together, like a man's two hands, feet, or eyelids, or the upper and lower rows of his teeth. To obstruct each other is against nature's law, and what is irritation or aversion but a form of obstruction? Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Perfection of character is this, to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. For it is in your power to retire into yourself whenever you choose. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. Casting aside other things, hold to the precious few, and besides bear in mind that every man lives only the present, which is an indivisible point, and that all the rest of his life is either past or is uncertain. Brief is man's life and small the nook of the earth where he lives. Brief, too, is the longest posthumous fame, buoyed only by a succession of poor human beings who will very soon die and who know little of themselves, much less of someone who died long ago. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. It is in your power to withdraw yourself whenever you desire. Perfect tranquility within consists in the good ordering of the mind, the realm of your own. Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. Cold or warm. Tired or well rested. Despised or honored. Dying, or busy with other assignments. Because dying, too, is one of our assignments in life. There as well, to do what needs doing. Look inward. Don't let the true nature of anything elude you. Before long, all existing things will be transformed, to rise like smoke, assuming all things become one, or be dispersed in fragments, to move from one unselfish act to another with God in mind. Only there, delight in stillness, when jarred, unavoidably, by circumstances, revert at once to yourself, and don't lose the rhythm more than you can help. You'll have a better grasp of the harmony if you keep going back to it. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life.